Hey there, welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this live broadcast. It's Josh Cary here, founder of PetSittingOlogy and our 7th annual. Can you believe that 7th annual pet care professional conference? You know the deal. It's happening this October 7th through the 10th in beautiful Las Vegas at the amazing Planet Hollywood. PetSittingLive.com has your details. I, for one, cannot wait. It's going to be an incredible time, as the saying goes. What also is going to be an incredible time is this very session you are joining us for. It's going to be informative. It's going to be interactive. It's going to be amazing. On the screen right there, you could see him. Now, I'm quite certain you've heard his voice. Maybe you've never laid eyes on him, but today's your lucky day. There he is. I am truly honored to be sitting with, partnering with, if you will, bringing into our world here and now. It's the co-founder of Time to Pet. Mike Grenier is there. What's going on, my man?
I'm good, Josh. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Super excited to have a discussion here. We love everything PetSittingOlogy does. We're super excited to partner with you, and super excited for the conference as well.
I really appreciate that. And Mike is, of course, talking about, whether you knew this or not, Time to Pet is our official pet sitting software partner of PSO 2018. And we couldn't be more proud and more excited for that. You know, I've known Time to Pet for as long as you've been up and running, and it just feels right. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I think there's a ton of synergies between how we operate our company, the way that you manage your business. It just seemed like a very natural fit. So again, couldn't be more excited to work with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to leave a quick comment here on Facebook Live. Whether you're catching the replay or you're joining us live, let us know right now in the comments. If you're live and in living color, type hashtag Team Live. If you're watching the replay, let us know, Team Replay. And like I said, I'm going to pin a comment here. All right. So today we're going to be talking about how professional pet sitters can compete with the Rovers, the Wags, the Uber of dog walking companies that really keep popping up, because it's our job, if you will. It's our responsibility to take action and to figure out for ourselves individually and, quite frankly, collectively as an industry, how we're going to move forward. Because yes, we could sit here and kick and scream all day and say, oh, this is terrible, down with Rover, down with Wag. But truth be told, even if the scenario were that these companies, even 2 of them, would go out of business, which you know they're not. They just keep growing and expanding. That's not the point. There are others like them popping up. So yes, we can kick and scream. We can get upset. But then at some point, maybe starting today, and perhaps you already do it, we need to say, okay, step back for a minute. I see what's happening. That's the writing on the wall. Now what? What can I do about it? What am I going to do about it? And I know that this is a hot topic for many of us. And truth be told, we need to take action. We need strategy. We need community. We all need to do things together and individually to make a difference, because it's not going away. Is that true, Mike?
Absolutely. I think there's definitely a lot of momentum for those companies. They're doing a lot of things right, and it doesn't mean that there's not a time and a place for the local professional pet sitters. In my opinion, there's very much a huge market for the local professional pet sitting companies, and plenty of room for everyone to play in the sandbox. Absolutely.
So let me talk about your sandbox. Give us your history, because I know you are the co-founder of Time to Pet today, but that's not where you started. You actually were knee deep in our industry as a professional pet sitter. Is that right?
Absolutely. So my wife and I moved here to Austin, Texas, in 2014, 2015, from New England. And when we got here, my wife was looking for the next opportunity. So of course, we're both extremely passionate about our own pets and other pets in general. And she really wanted to do something that was hands-on. So we did our research, we looked around, and the elephant in the room kept coming back to pet sitting and dog walking. It was just a tremendous opportunity. It really was exactly what she wanted to be doing. So we jumped at that opportunity. We started her business, and she was continuing to grow. We were seeing a lot of traction here in Austin. And we got to a point where we needed pet sitting software. We just couldn't keep doing things the way that we had been doing them. The business was growing too quickly. So we had gone out and we had looked around at all of the existing platforms that were out there. And while a lot of them did some things that were really fantastic, none of them really did everything that we were looking for. So at that point, we kind of went back to the drawing board. We continued to do, the Google Calendar, the QuickBooks Online. And about 2 weeks after that, Kyle, who's my current partner here at Time to Pet, reached out to us, and he was building new pet sitting software and was looking for local companies like ours to help him beta test the system. So it was a tremendous opportunity for us to really work with someone on the ground floor to provide a lot of feedback on what we were looking for out of our pet sitting software system. And shortly after working with Kyle, he asked me to join him as a partner. So that's what I spend the majority of my time on these days is working on Time to Pet, working to grow our business, looking to manage the business. But mostly I spend most of my time talking with pet sitters and dog walkers. Over the past couple of years since we started Time to Pet, I've had the opportunity to talk to thousands of companies, ranging all the way from here in Austin to the UK, to Australia, even South Africa. And when we talk to pet sitters and dog walkers, we always like to get a sense of what's working for your business, what's not working for your business. What are the things that are exciting you about our industry, and what are the things that are really concerning you? And without a doubt, the number one thing we always hear is what's up with these Uber for dog walker companies. I see them everywhere. They tend to be growing like crazy. It seems like they're in the same market that I'm in. What can I do? What should I be doing to make sure that I'm insulating myself from these companies that obviously are looking to target the same type of customers as we are? So we hear that question all the time. It's definitely something that's on the minds of pet sitters and dog walkers, but generally what we've heard from our customers tends to not be what you would expect. We tend to hear lots and lots of stories about how these Uber for dog walkers, yes, they're there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be scared of them. There's lots of opportunities associated with what they're doing as well.
So I love the idea that you are not just a pet sitting software tech company. I know that your role in the day-to-day, well, take a step back and paint that picture for me real quick. You are the co-founder, but what is your day-to-day? Because I know you said you speak to as many pet professionals as possible on the phone. What do you do day in and day out in the company that allows you to be on those front lines?
Yeah, so Kyle and I are partners here at Time to Pet. Kyle is what I would consider to be a classically trained software developer. So Kyle is someone who went to college for computer science. He worked for really large companies building web and mobile applications for them. And that's what he's passionate about, is building software, building solutions for people using the internet, using the computer to make it simple for them. So that's what Kyle spends most of his time on, is the product. And I try to do everything else. So whether that comes to the customer support, whether that comes to growing the business, anything that I can do to make sure that number one, we know exactly what our customers are looking for out of Time to Pet, and number two, we know exactly what they need to do to be successful with our system. So that's really what I do, is whatever it takes to make sure that our customers are comfortable with Time to Pet, and to make sure that we understand what pet sitters are looking for out of their system, and what are ways that Kyle and I can work together in implementing some of those solutions.
That's incredible. And from the minute you've been on the market, which I know is in 2015, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I've always heard, and like you said, I know there's a great synergy between our two brands and companies, a very similar ethic and approach and transparency. And there's certainly a lot of overlap between clients in each of our communities. So you build Time to Pet as the base. And over the years, as you talk to these professionals and get their fears, concerns, wants, and desires, you then are able to strategically implement certain things that are not only going to help them grow and manage their business, but to help position them and combat them, if you will, against these Uber for dog walking companies?
Absolutely. So the way that we've built our company, the way that we grow our company is based on feedback from our customers. So we have a very innovative way, in my opinion, to capture and track everything that our customers are requesting. And as I'm sure you can imagine, our customers request a lot of things. So we have an internal database that we use that automatically scores what our customers are requesting based on a couple different factors. Those factors, of course, being, how many times do we hear that request? What's the process of actually implementing that particular feature or set of features, and more so, does it kind of fit into our overall vision of Time to Pet, which of course we can get into a little bit later, but our vision is we want to make sure that pet sitters and dog walkers have the tools that they need to start, manage, and grow their business and ultimately compete with those Uber for dog walkers, at least on a technological perspective. So we take all of that customer feedback, it goes into our database, and then the database will outline what are the highest value priorities or the highest value features that we need to be working on, and then we go ahead and we start to build those. So that's how we've built Time to Pet to this point. It's worked really well for us. Of course, we'd love to build every single feature that our customers are requesting. It's not possible to do that, but we try to come up with a solution to build the features that are going to be most impactful for as many of our customers as possible.
That's amazing. So when somebody's talking to you, I want to hear your overview of this. They say, Mike, I just seem to be losing clients. My numbers are down. What can I do to stay relevant, to stay front and center, to compete with the Rovers and the Wags of the world? Where do you go with that conversation?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when people bring up the questions about the Uber for dog walkers, generally, number one, they don't have a lot of great data about whether it really is negatively impacting their business, but they know that it's something that they should be concerned about. So the number one thing that I would definitely recommend is take a look at your customers, ask your customers questions. Where did you hear about us? What are the things about our business that you like? What are the things about our business that you maybe don't like as much? And what are the things that we can improve on? Because we're all striving to build the best businesses that we possibly can. So generally what we hear as feedback from our clients that have had those conversations with their customers is that, yes, the Uber for dog walkers are important. Yes, they have a great marketing budget. Yes, they're very well known, but there's lots and lots of things that the local pet sitting and dog walking companies do that are very different, and in my opinion, significantly better than what the Uber for dog walkers are doing. So those are going to primarily rest on the quality of service. So when you hire a local independent professional pet sitting and dog walking company, you're typically hiring someone who lives and works in your neighborhood or in your city. You're hiring someone that you're able to have a professional and sometimes personal relationship with, and you're hiring a local small business, which is obviously things that you can't necessarily say about the big, tech companies that are in this space. So the major benefits that the local pet sitters have over these large companies is in fact that, you are a small business, you're able to have a relationship, you're able to really provide a very superior product as it relates to the actual pet sitting or dog walking services that you're delivering. So that's definitely something you need to market as well, because when people are looking for pet sitting or dog walking, they're probably going to find the Uber for dog walkers if they just do a quick Google search of dog walker. So what you need to really do a good job is making sure that the services that you're delivering, the quality of your business, the relationships that you're able to build with these customers is significantly better and something that you're able to market as well. So without a doubt, that's the number one thing that we hear from our customers, the number one thing that they hear from their clients about what makes these small local pet sitters and dog walkers different, and in my opinion, better than the big tech companies that are out there.
I completely agree. And I just want to reiterate that our gut instinct reaction when we see these companies is to kick and scream and then say, yeah, and you know what else? They don't care about the pets. They don't care about the people. They're a tech company. They're only in it for the money, whatever it is. But here's the big challenge I find. First of all, they are not going away. In fact, in our member community last week, somebody brought in a link to another one that right now is Charlotte specific, but they just received $750,000, $750,000 in funding for their tech startup, Uber for dog walking service, right? So they are not going anywhere. These sorts of things are in demand. So again, we as an industry and as individual business owners have to figure out how we strategically implement our own marketing efforts, plan, relationships, commitments to excellence, marketing, what have you. And this company that we were talking about in Charlotte, while they got this abundance of money coming in, we could say, yeah, but they don't. But the truth of the matter is your potential client or even your ideal client may not care about the things we care about. They might not care, or they might not get a chance to care. Maybe they do have a good experience with these people. Guess what? You pull up the Rover app. Truth be told, they have a 4.5 star rating with 2,300 reviews. So as a pet parent looking at that, where's the debate, right? So we have a big mental hill to try to overcome or to convince them otherwise. If we even get a chance to enter that conversation, that's what we have to see and understand, that 99% of the time, we're not even on the radar of the people we want to convince or change the minds of. So the question is, okay, forget about what we believe is the case, because in this conversation, it's about perception, perceived value. You go to the Rover website, etc., or their app, and it looks amazing. All the things line up. You can't fault the pet parent. They don't have a 2-star rating where it's like, well, you shouldn't have gone there in the first place, right? So they are doing their due diligence and everything checks out. So now we have to step back and say, okay, what do I do? What do I need to do in order to show up in that conversation before they do a Google search, before they find them? How could I get in front of them prior to that? Yes, someone like Rover has so much funding for Google ads and whatnot, but you can't just kick and scream and say, yeah, but they have all the money. Fine. So play a different game. So if they're showing up in the search results, there's so much you can do, like Mike said, as the professional, as the local. Form local relationships with other pet professionals, with other pet businesses, with other veterinarians. Form relationships with groomers, with trainers, with pet stores, with event planners, with publicists or PR people or advertising people in your area. You can do this. And really, this is what you need to start doing. Quick side note, last week I had a dialogue like this with Dr. Marty Becker, and he outlined a whole vision for how we as pet sitters and dog walkers can, should, and will eventually form legitimate relationships with veterinarians. Get this. And he explains the whole thing. He said, from typically 12 noon to 2 or 3 in the afternoon is a downtime in a lot of vet offices. So there's a way that you can go into their office with their welcome, of course, and you can be there in-house with them and have office hours. And you could have this relationship where now you all are contributing to the welfare of the pet, because as Dr. Becker says, we are an integral, necessary part of this. The vets desperately need us to connect those dots, because when the pets leave their office, we're front and center. So we have to step up. We have to step out. Form relationships. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I hear it all too often, people say, well, I got into this business because I don't like people. I only want to deal with the pets. Maybe that was okay years ago. It's not okay today. Business, no matter what business, is about relationships, human relationships. You have to do it. You agree, Mike?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think the one thing that I would add to that is before you think about the relationships, think about your own story. What is it about you? What is it about your company that makes you different? So I know today, with Instagram, you'll see lots of products out there, lots of things. But I find the things that interest me the most is when you dig a little bit deeper and you find out the story of the company behind it. Maybe it's a husband and wife combo that are making hats and they're donating some of their profits to a husky rescue. I have Siberian Huskies. We love them. Things like that always tug at our heartstrings. So when you see the story of these companies, it's more than just pet sitting and dog walking. And that's something that local companies are able to do. Who are you? What are you about? What are the things that are important to you? Why did you start this business? What are the things that you're wanting to change? What are the things that you're wanting to do a really good job with? And document that story. What is it about you and your company that is really important? And what is it about you and your company that is different from what's out there? And as soon as you have that story, align yourself with partners, local vets, local pet shops that have similar ideals, that are interested in the same things, that are trying to do the same type of good that you are. So, again, and this just builds on your point, when you identify who those partners are, build really strong local relationships with those companies. Because yes, you're probably not going to be able to out Google result the WAGs or the Ubers. But when a local company or when someone who moves to your town goes to a vet and the vet says, I have this fantastic dog walker, they're absolutely great, they're local, they donate to the same nonprofits that we do, we're really aligned in what we're interested in, that's when you're going to get those customers. And then when you have a new client, say, hey, I know this great vet, they're fantastic, they're very similar to us, they think about things the same way, send your customers to them as well. And that's how you build an ecosystem of these local small companies that can be really powerful, and you can really grow that as well.
What do you guys do as Time to Pet? Because you're in a very similar situation as we are. There's enough competition in that space that you guys certainly always rise to the top in many of the conversations I see. Mm-hmm. What are you doing marketing wise, to compete wise, to stand out, to separate yourself? What do you guys do very well?
I think for us, without a doubt, the biggest driver of our growth has always been customer referrals. So we found out very early on that pet sitters and dog walkers can be vocal about things that they like and things that they don't like. So the importance is to build a reputation, to build a product that people like. And then in this particular industry, our customers are very willing to share their stories of Time to Pet. They're very, very willing to talk about the product, what worked for them, what didn't. They're very willing to talk about our customer support, which is something we really spend a lot of time in a lot of time and energy on. And without a doubt, the word of mouth has been the biggest driver of growth for Time to Pet. We also do other things like, we have some Google ads and things like that, but those are very small as it compares to what has gotten us to where we are today. I can't even express how important it is to, number one, make sure that your product is good, make sure that everything that you're doing internally is good, and then number two, let that just kind of take care of itself. That's what we've always done. We've always focused all of our time and energy on Time to Pet, and then our customers have always been willing to kind of hold the flag for Time to Pet in the field.
So you also do, like you said, some online advertising, whether it's through Google or Facebook. And I know you also do online content marketing, usually in the form of a blog and whatnot. Correct. Deliberate marketing choice, yes?
Absolutely. I think in today's day and age, being an internet company, a SaaS company, which Time to Pet is, you need to have some type of online presence because, even if people hear about Time to Pet or hear about pet sitting software, they're probably going to Google it and try to do some research on their own. And it's important to be able to have content that people can read so they can see the story of Time to Pet, see what it is that we're about, see what it is that we're trying to do here, and also read reviews about Time to Pet. It's important for us, for for our customers to be able to share their stories for people that maybe they're not, in a Facebook group with, or maybe they're not in a local pet sitting group with. So those are definitely other things that we do. But again, it all kind of comes back to those are secondary to our customers sharing their experiences with other pet sitters.
I love that since we went live, you've said the word story a handful of times. And I love that because I fully agree with that. Everything about a business, about marketing, about success, about growth, whether you realize it or not, is a story. It's telling a story. It's telling your story first and foremost. The thing that I always like to drill home is that if you're thinking about a content marketing plan, which is articles, blog posts in the form of the written word, maybe some great pictures with some dialogue around the pictures, maybe a video, it's easier said than done today. Typically, what's going to get in the way is your own fear, your own resistance to it. But here's the truth. You either have to do it yourself, or you have to learn to do it, or you have to hire someone or barter with someone. I don't care how you get it done. It just needs to get done. We have the benefit of being so passionate about what we do every single day. Use that. That's what your audience, that's what your clients and potential clients and pet parents in your community are dying to hear. If you don't talk about it and share what you do, why you do it, really why you do it. Get to the heart of why you do it. If I were to sit you down one-on-one and say, tell me about your days. What do you love about your days? Why do you wake up in the morning and do this? Now, maybe today you're like, oh, I don't even want to do it most days. Okay, fair. I understand that. Let's take a step back. Why did you begin? Why did you leave a lucrative career behind? I've spoken to all of you. I know so many of you left cushion paying jobs with benefits behind. Why? There's a reason, and that needs to be told. So you find a way to tell your story. Even if it's one story, tell it over and over and over again. Show, don't tell. Meaning you can't just say on your website, we are trained, we are experienced, we are knowledgeable, and call it a day. You need to show them on your website and through your marketing and through your emails and through any other channels you possibly can, social media. So you say you're trained, educated, knowledgeable, experienced, kind, transparent, authentic, passionate, schooled, certified. Okay, tell me more. Tell me more. If we are out and let's say we're on a date, okay, and I'm sitting across from you and I say, oh, by the way, I didn't get a chance to tell you yet. I'm funny. No, really, I'm a funny guy. I am really funny. Am I? Okay. I just told you I'm funny. You going to believe me? Is that going to be it for you? No. Okay, hotshot. Then show me then be funny. Same thing. You can't just say I'm trained, knowledgeable, educated. It's like, are you? Okay. Let me see. Show. And you can. You have every ability to do this. You may think, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the desire some days. You have to find it. You have to find it. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. I could not agree more. It's more than just, writing your story down. It's living your story. It's when you're doing meet and greets, when you're interacting with people on the street, when you're communicating with your existing customers, reaffirm that this is what I'm all about. And when your customers know that, when they trust you, when they see what you do with their pets, they're going to tell their friends about it. They're going to say, this pet sitter, they're great. Not only are they great, not only do they love our pets as much as we do, not only are they reliable, but they are all of these other things that they continue to demonstrate and they continue to show. And it's not just a website, it's not just a marketing pamphlet. You have to live your story every day.
Mm-hmm. And again, the thing that I love about us and pet professionals, We are so passionate about what we do. So just start to get that down on paper. Why? Why do you do what you do? How do you do it? Share the story. Hit people over the head. If you think about your favorite online person or celebrity, chances are you know all about them, because every time they appear somewhere, they're sharing their inside, their story, their history, their background, repetition. Like you said, Mike, it's just, you have to, every chance you get, form those relationships and share those stories.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you a couple of questions about time to pet, and what are some of the things that those listening could really grab onto that the tool does in a feature or benefit way, that if they want, because I know some people might not want some of the things to compete with the Rovers, et cetera. But what are some of those features and benefits that we could grab onto today and start giving our clients if it aligns with our business model?
Yeah, it's a great question. So there's obviously things that the Rovers and the Wags and the other Uber for dog walkers do that people really like. Whether that's just having kind of an on-demand service, whether that's having more transparency with your dog walks, whether that's making it easier to pay for services or easier to request services. Those are things that I think we all can probably agree on are good. And what Time to Pet definitely sees our role now in this industry is we want to provide the local pet sitters and dog walkers out there that are always going to win on that story that we talked about, on being local, on the relationships that they're able to build, but they're not necessarily able to compete with the Uber for dog walkers on the technology side. So Time to Pet wants to provide the local pet sitters and dog walkers with the tools that they need to compete with those big guys, at least from the technological standpoint, knowing that at the end of the day, the local guys are always going to win on the quality of service. So here at Time to Pet, we do lots of different things. I think the most important one in this concept is going to be the client app. So in Time to Pet, we have a client app that all of your customers are able to download directly from the client app. The clients are able to update all of their information, so the pet sitter will have the most accurate and up-to-date information in real time when they're actually completing events. The pet sitter can also, if they choose to do so, they can track GPS. They can also track the time that their staff members check in and check out of visits. And all of that information can be optionally shared with the client as well. So you most certainly don't have to share that information with your customers. You don't even have to track GPS in Time to Pet. But if that's what you wanted to do in your business, you most certainly have the opportunity to do so. We also make the process of requesting new services directly from the client app as simple as we can. We make the process of paying for services as simple as we can directly from the client app. And most certainly, the most important piece is going to be the communication. So as soon as a dog walker or pet sitter marks an event as complete, they'll be prompted to send the client an update. So that update can include notes, it can include pictures, it can include visit report card questions like, did the dog use the bathroom, did they eat, did you change the water bowl, and all of that information is going to be sent to the customer in real time. So they have a really accurate picture of what happened during their visit, and of course they know that my pet was taken care of and they were taken care of by someone that I like and someone that I really trust.
Wow, that's a lot. And if you heard the playback over here, I was looking at our live stream comments. For those joining in live, if you have any comments or questions or thoughts on this dialogue, interactive, if you will, get in on the conversation, because you know it's an important one. And you, Mike, like I said, we've had conversations, me and you, over the years on the phone and whatnot. And it's this year where everything came together and we are official partners for our PSO 2018 conference, the official pet sitting software partner. Is there a chance, because I don't know if you saw our announcement about this, somebody said, wow, I wish Mike would become a speaker at your event. What are the chances?
You know, and Josh, we've had conversations about this. So definitely there's an opportunity for that. But for us, Time to Pet is not a super large business for us. Anytime that Kyle or I is taken away from kind of our core responsibilities of Time to Pet, it's difficult for us to continue to do the things that we really pride ourselves on doing. And that's, of course, the customer support. That's, evaluating the feature requests that are coming in from Kyle's perspective. That's actual development time, building all of the features in Time to Pet. So for us, it's always kind of really hard to get away just because we're so invested in the day-to-day operations of Time to Pet at this point. But most certainly, it doesn't mean that it's not a possibility. We just have to make sure that we're not neglecting, the core Time to Pet, because even, and as I'm sure it's equally as difficult for pet sitters and dog walkers to get away. But there's certain things that you have to do every single day, especially for our business, especially for pet sitters and dog walking businesses. So something that we may be able to do, but we'll just have to make sure that it's the absolute right decision for the business.
What is next for Time to Pet?
Right now we're really focused on just continuing to build our product to make it more reliable, to make it, to increase the functionality of the system, to make it even easier for people to do what they're trying to do, which of course start, manage, and grow their businesses in a more efficient, more effective way. And that's always what we're going to be focused on. Is we just want to get better every day. We want to do a better job every single day. We want to take the feedback from our customers and make sure that what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're building, is having a real tangible effect on our customers. We want to make it as easy as possible for them to start, manage, and grow their businesses so they can spend their time doing whatever it is that they want to do, whether that's, another marketing opportunity, whether that's building new relationships with local companies. Maybe that's, taking a weekend off, which is not something they've been able to do in a really long time. So that's always what our focus is going to be on, is just doing a better job of building a product that makes the lives and businesses of our customers easier.
Wow. Do you love Time to Pet? We love Time to Pet. In fact, we love it so much, we bought that domain name, welovetimetopet.com. And if you go there now, Mike and Kyle are extending not only a 14-day free trial for you to check it out if you're thinking about this software, but also go to welovetimetopet.com, and if and when you become a client of theirs after the 14-day trial, they're going to extend 3 months of 50% savings. Can't beat it. Thank you, Mike, for doing that. welovetimetopet.com is the direct link for that 3-month 50% savings offer. Before we part ways, I want to sort of pivot for a moment and speak to you, Mike Grenier, as Mike Grenier. Here's what I mean. Regardless of where you are today, bring me back, if you will, to a time where, whether it was here or in your previous career, what have you, where there was a struggle. And what do you do to overcome? What suggestions, what mantras do you live by day in and day out so